Hey guys, this is Tim, and today we're going to go over the Arpeggiator tool in Logic Pro, and especially when it's used to create dubstep music. So the focus will be the Arpeggiator tool, but we're going to look at how you can use it when you're making a dubstep track. So without further ado, let's hear what we're going to be starting with. Alright, cool. So this is just something I put together in about 10 or 15 minutes. There's a few things happening here. I'll go over each of them, and then we're going to talk about how we can bring the arpeggiator into the mix. So to start, I'm using Logic's default Ultra Beat. I'm using the Ghost Town kit, which is pretty good for making dubstep. And as you can see here, there's some pretty cool delays I added. When I created the Ultra Beat, I made it multi-output, and what I did was I just connected each of the sounds I'm using to an aux track. You can see here that the tambourine is set to 3/4, snap is 5/6, and in the mixer what I've done is, let's take a look if I can bring this up here. I just have these aux tracks I've created that carry the effects. So some of them have compressors, some of them have reverb, things like that. And I just think it's a great way to create a different type of sound and add some real depth to otherwise pretty dry drum beats and kicks and things like that. The other elements are some samples. These I just have from audio packs I purchased. The other is an ES2 synth, and there's actually other tutorial videos you can get to learn how to make these sounds. What I did was I went to the tutorial settings and the analog saw in it and just changed a few settings. As you can see, it's a really basic kind of bass line here. We can actually bring it down an octave. Doesn't actually, it doesn't sound that doesn't sound that great, but once you start adding some effects to it, you can really make it pop. I'll let you play around with the ES2 and get something that works for you. There's also, I added an EX24, and this is just sort of a dirtied up bass line there. I won't go into details on that, but altogether they add up to this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this dirty zap, and we're gonna take the MIDI data, and we're gonna move it over to an arpeggiator track. And to do this, I'm gonna go to track new with duplicate setting. It's gonna create a duplicate of the dirty zap track, and I'm gonna go to Window, Environment, and oops, I already have those here. We're going to go to New Arpeggiator, and that's going to create an arpeggiator right over here. So I'm going to wire this guy up here. It'll just snap into place. You really don't have to do too much. I'm going to come back over here to Logic, the main window, and I'm going to go to Reassign Track, Mixer Arpeggiator. And as you can see, a few things have changed. The icon has changed, and there's some other information, or other contextual information for the arpeggiator. What I'm going to do, just to make sure this is working properly, is I'm going to drag this MIDI data down to the arpeggiator track, and I'm going to just alter a few settings. I'm going to have it arpeggiate over 2 octaves, and I'm going to set my locators around this section of data. You can see how it's working. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I have it working. I'd like it just to be a little bit louder. I know this isn't going to be the final mix, but we'll just pop it up a bit. Now another thing we can do is we can actually, I'm going to add a second arpeggiator just to give a little bit of contrast and make the track more interesting. So whoops, I'm going to go to new with duplicate setting. I am going to go back into my environment window and I'm going to make a new arpeggiator in the same way that I made the first one. So as you can see here, I have my second arpeggiator. I'm going to do the same thing, reassign the track, and as you can see, it creates a new arpeggiator. Nothing has changed on the first one, so that's pretty good. I'm going to let's see, what should I do? We'll this 1/20th, and we'll do this. We'll make this, give this 4 octaves. So let's see how they sound together. Okay, I just want to work on this one a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll give it down here. Cool. So, again, this is a quick tutorial, so I'm not going to go into depth about mastering and things like that. But let's play what we have, and let's see whether it makes it sound a little more interesting. Cool. So I think it's a pretty good start, and the arpeggiator is really useful when you want to break out of something routine, maybe add a little bit of flair to the track you're working on. It has a lot of different uses. You'll probably hear in a lot of techno as well as dubstep. So if you just start listening for it in tracks that you hear every day, you'll start to notice it. It's actually used quite frequently. So that's that. I'm going to be posting up the source files for this tutorial online, and it'll be free to download, minus some of the samples. And I hope you learned a lot. I think that once you understand how to get the arpeggiator working, you can go in and you can tweak it, and you can really get some pretty cool sounds out of it. All right, thanks for watching.